Anthony Mora is 30 years old, and he is a 7-year pro from Denver, 139-pounder. Everything was going fine in his career until he bombed against Rustam Nugaev in March 2006. He was TKO'd for his first loss. Mora has not fought since that point. And now he takes a massive step up to face South Florida's own Randal, the knockout king Bailey, former WBO and WBA titleist, 33 years old. He has 32 knockouts and 35 career wins. And he started off 2007 the same way he wants to start this year. He was right here at Mallory Square, and he easily got rid of Harrison Cuello. Bailey scored 2 knockdowns in the second round. That was the first one, and then he swarmed Harrison again and made for a very quick and easy night here in Key West. He then went to Friday Night Fights in Montreal to face Herman and Guju, and this was a thrilling fight. Each man scored a knockdown against the other. The fight, you may remember, was interrupted by fierce rains and a blackout, and it was capped by a controversial split decision that went against Bailey. Of course, Herman just fought for a world title. So we are just about ready for Mora and Bailey, and Teddy Atlas sets us up with the fight plan sponsored by AutoZone.
Welcome to Key West, where Ernest Hemingway wrote the great novel, The Old Man and the Sea. In that novel, there was a giant fish. And I believe Bailey, and that's who I'll play, would represent that giant fish. And if you're a giant fish, what do you need? What do you eat? Bait. So, you're bait.
Like always.
Mora will be eaten by the great fish, or by Bailey. Mora likes to box. He's very slight of build. He's not strong. He's going to pull back with his hands down. Bang, bang. He's going to get caught there, or he has a bad habit of throwing that right uppercut too far away. Bang, left hook. Either way, Bailey will be eating, and the great catch of the day will be Bailey. Well, the great fish story continues. Mora, who I'll play, obviously he's the minnow in this story. And again, against Bailey, who's much stronger, Bailey's going to come in looking to knock him out. It's going to be up to Mora to act like a minnow, be real quick. Box, bang, 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 and turn. Get to the side and keep Bailey off balance. Make sure that he never gets in the jaw of the giant fish. And if he does that, maybe, just maybe, he can stay off the hook and get a big win.
Look at this crowd here in Key West. And a nice reception for Randal Bailey. They remember his efforts last year, of course, South Florida base. They are scheduled for 10, and Tommy Kimmins is the referee.
Gentlemen, this is a 10-round fight for the WBC Latin title, and I gave you the instructions. I want to remind you, this audience is here to watch you fight, so keep it clean. Touch him up.
The ring experience comparison between Mora and Bailey. Bailey has had the much more accomplished career. You see 41 total fights to Mora's 16. He had won 7 straight since his December 2004 loss, before that controversial loss up in Montreal. And of course, he is a former world titleist. And in recent years, Teddy, he says he's been working on being a little more of a well-rounded boxer compared to the power puncher and banger he was earlier in his career.
Bailey is strong. Mora is not strong. Bailey can probably overcome mistakes. Mora cannot make one mistake.
There's a right hand that comes behind the left hook. Another right hand lands flush from Bailey.
Mora will pull back with his hands down, not up. And that's where Bailey's going to want to meet him. His favorite punch, the right hand. But either will do, as far as Bailey's concerned. He can do damage with the left hook. I think early on, little mistake by Mora. He's got to get out of these early moments where he's a little tight. Not go straight back, go to the side, where Bailey's not set to have those power lanes. Good idea, Joe, for Mora, moving to the side a little bit more.
You know, Teddy, in prepping for this fight, there were a few quotes from Anthony Mora that kind of said to me, I don't know if he's in the right mental place. And one of them was that during his 22-month layoff, he said he was thinking about retirement. which isn't always a good sign when you got one foot possibly out the door. And the other one is that when he heard about this fight, his initial thought is, boy, am I overmatched going up against Bailey.
I'll make it real quick. He's coming off a knockout loss. He's stepping up in class, and he's been away for a year and 10 months. Not a good way to go into any fight, especially a fight with a former world champion. You always have something on your mind when you're in that square circle. Mora's got a little extra.
Don't hold him, don't hold him.
Bailey digging in with Mora in the corner moments ago. He sent a left hand to the body. So landed a couple good right hands to the head early on here.
Well, if you're in the middle, as I said in the fight plan, or I suggested, and I don't mean to in any way disparage Mora, you better act like the middle. You better stay away from the big fish. At least Mora's doing that right now, staying on the outside.
Right hand up top, and another left hand to the body, goes to the belt line.
You know, up top is inviting because Mora, again, he's naked when he steps back, hands down. But downstairs, not a bad idea for Bailey. If you're the stronger guy, why not crack the body of the weaker guy?
Coming to the end of this first round from Key West, the first round that Randal Bailey, the former titleist, controlled against Anthony Mora. Right hand again there. A great look at the sport fishing capital of the world, Isla Morada. Folks, if you haven't been, do yourself a favor. Get to it someday in the Keys.
Let's take a look at this replay. Now, watch this right hand coming, but watch the head turn right there. And that's what saves Mora. He turns with the right hand. Now watch, the first one off the shoulders, but the last one, he turns with it. And as he turns, you saw him turn his head. He rode with that punch. And I believe that's the reason why we still have a fight.
Round number 2 scheduled for 10. In that first round, Randal Bailey enjoyed a 16-3 connect advantage.
You remember the fight years ago, Joe, with the great Tommy Hearns and the great Roberto Duran?
Yeah.
Because Hearns was stronger, he was bigger. And he threw a jab to the body, set up Duran, took his eyes off him, and then came up with an unbelievable crushing, devastating right hand. I can see a scenario for Bailey to do that.
There's a right hand to the body.
Sometimes fighters, when they go to the body, especially of a weaker guy like Mora is compared to Bailey, sometimes it's to set up the head. And then later on, maybe a little bend to the body and bang, upstairs.
Something to look for. See if Randal Bailey can pull it off. Punch track body shot numbers, 11 out of 16 for Bailey. He's had a real back-to-work kind of attitude. 5 fights in 2006. We told you about his 2007. And already off to work here early in 2008. There's that right hand.
Don't hold him.
Again, Mora riding with that right hand. And I believe that's what's allowing him to survive those couple right hands he's eaten so far. The biggest enemy, I think, in this kind of fight for Bailey, it's not Mora. I believe it's the possibility of Bailey looking past Mora, and in doing so, not coming with the complete package. That's the jab to the body I was talking about Hearns did with Duran. Maybe now the right hand comes up top. Fake jab to the body and then a right hand up top. We'll see.
Well, I'm continuing that conversation of what Bailey could be looking at and looking ahead. He wants to fight Paulie Malignaggi.
Yeah, exactly. And that could be the biggest impediment to Bailey tonight. Again, even more so than Mora. Maybe he looks past him and he doesn't bring the full package. What I mean by that is he's bringing the knockout punches. They haven't landed the way he wants, but maybe he doesn't bring the jab and the other things he normally would bring with a fighter that maybe he had a little fear with, maybe a little bit more respect with.
Mora again absorbing that right hand and riding it out to the side. And another round here. Early on, Randal Bailey in complete control. More from Key West after this.